The 2020 Investec Super Rugby competition is proudly brought to you by Placemakers.
Good evening and welcome to Forsyth Bar Stadium for the first time in 2020, where tonight the Highlanders kick off their campaign against the Sharks. The new look Highlanders have been made to wait an extra week for their reintroduction to Super Rugby. With no Ben Smith or Waisake Naholo, the fans will be on the lookout for a new favourite son. The Sharks have made the demanding journey from Durban to Dunedin. Having picked up a good win over the Bulls in round one, it's now time to test themselves on the road and see if they can ride rugby's golden wave, sweeping South Africa. Well, there's a number of fans here, both young and old, and of course it is the 25th season of Super Rugby. There should be a few people that have been here right from the very beginning. Of course, they would have been at Carisbrook and now we're sitting under the roof. With every new season, of course, there is plenty of hope, and I've got plenty of hope for you two tonight as well. Brendan Laney, Israel Dag, two of the very best to come in here. Let's run through your favourite memories in that Highlanders jersey, Izzy.
Mine, I have to go back to Carisbrook. We were playing, I think it was the Cheetahs. Oh no, Brumbies. Crusaders. We're actually playing the Crusaders in my first year, and they came down south. We played them they had a superstar team, Colin Slade, and we actually beat them 8-5. So that was my most memorable moment.
And then you decided to go play for them.
And then we went up there and played for them, so that'll be my most memorable.
Well, for me, I was Carisbrook as well, but mine was probably a lot earlier, and my first game was against the Blues. And I remember that game because I had to mark Ronnie Clark, and I was sitting there going, wow, I'm marking a Ronnie Clark. So I must admit that day there was pretty special for me.
Nice. Well, getting into the rugby now, let's talk about the Highlanders first of all, the home side. They're coming off a bye in round one. Is that a disadvantage or is that a bit of an advantage, Izzy?
Oh, it can work both ways. I think, from what I hear, they've been working very hard last week. They went into an army camp, so that could work both ways as well. I wouldn't want to be told what to do by the army guys, but, you know, they had another week to get those combinations right. You got Mitch Hunt, Aaron Smith, who's the outer stakeman in the team, and then you got some young guys, Josh Mackay, so it gives them another week to bounce back and get their combinations right, Boof.
How good is it to have Tony Brown back down here?
Yeah, great to see him walking around in his cheese curry. He's just keeping that on because he's going bald. But look, it's great for him. Look, in fairness, I feel a bit for Tony. I think everyone's expecting miracles this year. That's a bit tough on the guy. It's going to take this Highlanders side a wee bit to get going. They're only starting off their campaign, so it's exciting. It is really exciting.
This is a very new look Highlanders team. No Waisake Naholo. Who do the fans now chant about? What's their new chant, Izzy?
Well, I think they're going to go to the clutch man, Mitch Hunt, aren't they? You know, they've seen what he's done over the last few years. He's won tournaments, nearly won a Halberg Award, so I think they're going to be chanting for him. But then you got guys out wide, Nareki, you know, those guys out wide, they can create something for nothing. He's a sevens player. He's pretty razzy, he's strong, so there's going to be a few players that they can chant for out there.
We know you're a good rapper, so what would you give us if you've got a Hunt rap?
You caught me on the spot there. I got nothing. I've just
and you get nothing out of me,
I've just been in the Grammys. I should be able to do it. Come on.
Exactly. Grammys, Super Bowl, the golf. He's been on holiday. Welcome back, Israel.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Okay, well, we've also got Jeff Wilson. He's out there doing plenty of work tonight. Who are you with, Jeff?
Well, a potential 6 debutants for the Highlanders. Mitch Hunt gets the opportunity at 10. Welcome, Mitch. This is Super Rugby. You've been here before, but it starts here tonight for the Highlanders. How excited are you about playing here under the roof in this competition?
Mate, it's pretty awesome, to be fair. Obviously, no weather dramas under the roof, which is absolutely fantastic for a 10. Mate, I'm excited. Awesome to be here. Obviously, we've had the extra week off, but I think that the whole group's excited and we can't wait to get into it.
Look, coming down here to Dunedin, you were looking for an opportunity. Josh Ioane was here, but tonight you're forging a combination with him on the insides. What are the sort of things that you guys have talked about going into this game, particularly against the Sharks?
Mate, we're just more about doing our own thing, but obviously working together. You know, Josh has been fantastic at 12 with his comms, his vision, and then obviously working with Aaron Smith on the inside as well. So a couple of awesome combinations to have in and outside of you, and I look forward to working with them both.
Look, you've been in a lot of environments. What's been different about this first couple of months down here in Dunedin with this Highlanders team?
Mate, we've been smacked pretty hard across the pre-season. Old trainer Jonesy's done a good job on us, but you know, we're ready. Physically, fitness-wise, we're raring to go. So obviously you need that under the roof, and we look forward to that.
Welcome to the team. Good luck tonight. Go get them.
Awesome, mate. Thank you.
Well, for the Highlanders fans, it is great to see this young man down here. In the last 4 years, he's been playing behind Richie Mo'unga at the Crusaders. And in one season, Richie played almost as many minutes as Hunt's entire career. And here's the stats. They tell a story, don't they,
Yeah, they
Brendan?
do. And you know, look, hard man to shift out of a position when you've got an All Black first five playing. But look, Mitch Hunt's done some fantastic work for the Crusaders. He's been probably their clutch player, hasn't he? He's pulled off, you know, a couple of absolutely amazing last-minute wins. Especially against the Highlanders, so hopefully he can do that for us.
He's like a six-man in basketball. He comes on in the big moments. He's got ice in his veins. You know, he had kicks to win it against the Sharks. You know, we drew against the Sharks at home.
Here they are here as well. We'll see them, and we might see you making a cameo in here too.
Yeah, I run over his shoulders. But here, like against the Reds, this is to win it. Last-minute penalty over there, and that actually catapulted our season. Against the Blues, scores the winning try, drop kick, nearly wins a Halberg from there. Just, you know, he just loves the big moments, and you need those players out there in big time.
So there is no question whether or not he can handle the pressure, because this guy has ice running through his veins. But what are his expectations tonight? His debut match for the Highlanders in at that number 10 position.
Well, unfortunately, there is going to be some expectation, and I feel sorry for the guy in a way. He's just got to get out there and play his rugby. And I think Brownie would have been in his ear and saying exactly that same thing. Just take your time, play your game, look at the guy outside you who's got a fantastic footballer outside him in Ioane, and just enjoy the occasion, which I'm sure he'll do.
And inside him too. So you got Aaron Smith,
Yeah.
one of the best nines in the world, if not the best in New Zealand. So someone like him will keep him cool, calm and collected, and just tell him to do the basics well, get the boys in the right areas. That's what you want from your team.
Last year, Josh Ioane, he was playing 10 in this jersey, and then he went on to make his debut for the All Blacks. So why has Hunt been chosen over Ioane?
Look, I think it's more a case of they want both guys on the field. You know, Ioane was fantastic last year for the Highlanders, and just so good at 10. Look, at the end of the day, I think he will enjoy going out to 12, just a wee bit more responsibility. They got the option of another guy just kicking a bit wider. You know, seeing this action here, he's not afraid to take on the line either. He's strong with ball in hand. And we've heard, you know, and I'm probably going to steal this off Izzy, we heard that, you know, Aaron really enjoys the fact that he's a big defender. So, you know, moving out to 12, he's going to have plenty of traffic going down that way.
He stole the only thing as he had written on a Sky Sport piece of
My
paper.
cue card here, but nah, you need big game players on the field at once. It's like the World Cup, Wonga and Barrett. You want the guys that can create something out of nothing on the field at once, and you need Ioane and Hunt there.
There's been some question marks this week over his defence. Aaron May just said that he'll be fine. He's up against a much bigger 12, though, and Andre Esterhuizen. Almost 15 kgs difference there.
Well, I expect some traffic down that 9, 10, 12 channel tonight, and they would have trained for it all week. They'll be ready. They know it's going to be a physical battle, but I expect the Sharks to go down there with their big forwards around the corner, all their 9 and 10s just running straight and hard.
Yeah, there we go. Well, new combinations for the Highlanders. Let's see how they stack up at the TAB. Mark Stafford, come on in. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, we have got the Highlanders as favourites, but I'm standing down here looking at the Shark. They are muscle-bound. There are more muscles in that Shark team than a Tally's seafood factory. They are ripped. They're 275 coming off a great win last week. The Highlanders 12 and under 263. Yeah, I've got a better one for you shortly. 288 Highlanders 30 and over. If you do like the Sharks, and there are New Zealand punters that fancy the Sharks with a game under their belt, they're at 360 and 850 for their margins. But the one I'm talking about is the one with the big window. Highlanders by between 5 and 20. That's a 15-point window for you, New Zealand. $2.25 for that.
Double special, that's double trouble. Mark, what else do you have for us? I'm sure you'll be able to get something in there with Manawatu somewhere.
Well, of course, it's Bobby T's 50th, the great Rob Thompson, but there's another turbo in here as well, Aaron Smith. He is fizzed up. He ran out there like a man possessed. Aaron Smith to score a try, and the Highlanders to win 13 and over. Was at $6.50, but from right now until kickoff, $8. $8 New Zealand dollars, get amongst.
It's cheap, Staff. Get amongst it, all right. There you go. Thank you very much. Now, if it's not just rugby you're into, I'm sure you've got a few guilty pleasures when it comes to television as well. Well, Homeland Season 8 premieres on Monday on Soho, and across the Tasman, they're playing a women's T20 tri-series. It's Australia up against India, but closer to home, bring it back, the Black Caps' second ODI versus India. And if that first one was anything to go by with those Black Caps heroics, make sure you tune in Saturday the 8th. That's tomorrow afternoon. Okay, well, we're going to bring it back closer to home, and we're going to bring it back to rugby, because there is one massive match going on in Hamilton tomorrow. It's the Crusaders going up against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
How is this one going to play out? I reckon this is going to be first and second in the New Zealand Conference.
Yeah, Crusaders. No. Doesn't get any bigger than this. I've been in many Chiefs battles over the years, and it's going to be feisty. It's going to be like a street fight. They absolutely hate the Crusaders, and fair enough. The Crusaders, Chiefs, they have ultimate battles. The last year in Suva, we were at that game. And
you're running waters? I
was running waters there, and that was the last time I ran waters, because apparently they didn't get the messages out there, so Razor wasn't very happy. But, the Chiefs have been playing well. Last week they were offloading everything, scoring wonderful tries, so tomorrow's going to be a mouth-watering battle there, Buff.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. And look, we saw a Crusaders side who went out and really put a marker down against the Waratahs, didn't they? They came out, they played some fantastic rugby, and the Waratahs never really got in the game much. So, to be fair, huge game tomorrow night, and the Chiefs have got some really exciting guys on display.
The Chiefs do. What about who's playing at 10 for the Crusaders?
Yeah.
David Harvelli going up against Aaron Cruden.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday training. He looked pretty sharp, and I spoke to him afterwards. I just said, mate, just dummy all day. So I expect him to dummy all day. But what better opportunity to go up against a guy like Aaron Cruden, who's come well. He came on the field last week, changed the game, got the Chiefs back into the game, and Damian McKenzie, a fullback, be awesome to see him out there, and he's come through a tough time at the moment, so it'd be good to see him playing some footy.
Absolutely. Well, one man that will be keeping a close eye on that is Ian Foster, the new coach of the All Blacks, and he'll be live on the breakdown, but also the kickoff with me and Israel Dag. That's all kicking off next Thursday, and then of course you have Rugby Nation on Sunday with all of your wrap up from the weekend, 4:30 p.m. on Prime and Sky Sport as well. But here is the breakdown, 8:30, Sky Sport 1 Tuesday with Ian Foster. Do not miss that one there. Okay, time now to talk about the visitors. It is the Sharks and their coach. Well, he's new to Super Rugby this year. He's been through the Sharks development program, but this year he gets a shot at the big time. He's with Jeff Wilson.
Well, Sean, you got off to the perfect start. A good win last week against the Bulls. What did you learn out of that performance, and where do you have to get better for tonight's game?
Yeah, I think we got our kicking game wrong at times, so we worked on that this week. Obviously, the conditions are a little bit different this week than what we had down in Durban. The ball was really wet and difficult to hold on to. So hopefully we can move the ball around a little bit more than we wish to have done on Friday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge tonight.
Look, you've had to come a long way, of course, Durban to Dunedin. That's the nature of this tournament. How have you settled in? How have you recovered? And how prepared is this team for tonight's game?
Yeah, this week was all about recovery and not really training. We did have a good training day on Wednesday. Unfortunately, we picked up an injury with Sabu Nkosi, so he won't be available tonight. But yes, the guys are rested and looking forward to the challenge. Travel can't be used as an excuse. All teams are doing it. We've done it for a number of years now, and we've got some seasoned campaigners that are used to it. So yes, we've just got to get on with the job.
New look Highlanders, no Ben Smith in 2020. How have you prepared for a team that hasn't played a game yet, and what are your expectations of them under the roof here in Dunedin?
Yeah, it's very difficult, but I think we know what we expect. We know the coaches, they've been around, and we know the style of play. But the Highlanders are always a dangerous outfit, unpredictable at times. So, we've gone about our job pretty much the same as we normally do every week. And, we did have a quick preview at them when they played the Crusaders and the Waratahs.
All right, good luck tonight, and welcome back to New Zealand.
No, thank you very much, Chief.
Sean Everett, first-year Super Rugby coach, and a very tough assignment and road trip coming all the way from Durban to Dunedin, but no excuses for the travel factor, he's saying?
No, I don't think so either. I think the one side that has always travelled well is these guys, and at the end of the day, you've got to take that out of the equation. It's still going to come down to them getting on the paddock, having the right mentality and hooking in, and I think this side will. But they've got a big ask. They've come off a great win. First up, so they'll be really buoyed about that. But it is a long trip to Dunedin.
Well, let's talk about Super Rugby and South African rugby, because there's been a lot of talk this week about what's going on. What would you like to see happen with the South African sides, Izzy? Do you want to see them in Super Rugby?
They're a big part of Super Rugby for the last 25 years, so it will be sad to see them go, but if they do go, it will be sad, but at the end of the day, it's a business decision that they have to make and we have to make. Rugby needs to evolve. We want to make this the greatest game in the world. So if that means them going to UK and doing what they didn't do and we bringing in more Japan teams or whatever like that, it's the best for the rugby, and that's what I think's the best thing that could happen.
The facts are the Cheetahs and the Kings are already playing their rugby in Europe, and some of their best players from South Africa also are. So are they good for this competition still?
Well, I think they are, but it's going to be what they, do they want to be there? It's the attitude towards the competition. Are we going to see a lot more players, heading towards the UK? Does that demean the competition, having your top players playing it? We've got the same issue at the moment with our All Blacks not being available on managed minutes.
Yeah.
So, that is something that we've got to be careful with their competition. It is our premier competition, and we've got to make sure our top players are playing it.
Well, talking about the top players, Sia Khaleesi, the captain of the Springboks, he's spoken about how rugby is just riding this high in South Africa at the moment. So can the Sharks continue that Rugby World Cup momentum in Super Rugby?
Well, they've started it. They got a great win last week against the Bulls, 23-15. They kicked their way into that game and they scored when they needed to, scored 2 great tries. So the momentum's in their favour at the moment, and it's for the other teams to keep up with them as well. They're leading the way. The Stormers had a wonderful win against the Hurricanes. So it is one of those things. Do they get a World Cup hangover like most nations do? At the moment, they're heading in the right direction.
Our South African side hasn't won a Super Rugby title in 10 years. The Bulls were the last side to win one. So how do they change that in 2020?
Well, it's probably their hardest part's hanging on to their players, and that's been a tough one for them, isn't it? They've lost so many. So hanging on to those guys and keeping that team together. The Stormers have probably done it the best, Kirsty. So they've done well to keep those guys together. Look, at the end of the day, it's about fronting up and performing, isn't it? The New Zealand side certainly ain't going to treat them any differently because they won a World Cup. In fact, we want to play against the best and prove ourselves.
Well, I suppose an important one that needs to stay in South African rugby is Kerwin Bosch, the first 5, and you really enjoy the way that he kicks, is he?
Yeah, mate, he's a wonderful kicker. He's probably the second best to ever do it.
Who's the first?
No, he's the greatest. He's got a wonderful kick, and you need
bigger than you.
He's got a bigger kick than me. I've got one knee. You need those guys that can get you around the field. They've got big forwards, and those forwards would love nothing better than standing out of that ruck and seeing the ball down the other end. And that's what he does best.
The bit I like is that I hope they've left him at 10. Is he? Look, at the end of the day, he got shoved from 10 to fullback to 10 to fullback, and that's really tough on a guy. So hopefully he left him there and let him play.
And he can kick from 60 metres. So the Highlanders, if they're ill-disciplined tonight, they'll be punished. Scoreboard pressure does wonders.
Well, it's the coaches of the Highlanders that'll work out how to stop Kerwin Bosch tonight, won't it? Let's hear from Aaron Major now.
Well, Aaron, you've had to wait an extra week to get your season started. How did you use the extra 7 days?
Yeah, it's nice to finally get started. We saw it as an opportunity, though, to go away, take the boys up to Central and have a camp. So that's a good way for us to spend that time and sign off and get ready for this one.
In terms of the preparation, the pre-season, what did you learn about this group? A number of new players?
Yeah, lots really over the last couple of months. A lot of new guys, as you said, and had to push them hard to see what they're made of, but really proud of the way they've responded. And in terms of selection tonight was pretty tough. I think they all stepped up, but managed to get 23 to get a start tonight, so a good opportunity for those guys to put a stake in the ground and show everyone what this team's about.
Everyone's looked at your selections, particularly the inside, and Mitch Hunt and Josh Ioane. What are you hoping those two are going to be able to bring to your performance?
Oh, just control, really. Obviously, the Sharks played pretty well last week against the Bulls and really controlled the territory game, and that's what created their opportunities. So for those guys, the game management's going to be important. Josh has played a lot at 10, as we know, so him supporting Mitch around how we do that's going to be pretty key tonight.
Okay, welcome to the season. Good luck.
Cheers, Jeff.
Well, we know that key always is up front, and we were talking about that Highlanders engine room. They've lost so many players. They've lost Squire, they've lost Whitelock, they've lost Dixon, Lomax. The list just goes on and on. How do they replace those players, and how do they stack up this year in the forwards?
Well, I suppose the engine room's where it all starts, isn't it? So, yes, they have lost a lot. But, look, they've picked some players in there who are young, they're keen. I'm really looking forward to their locking pair going tonight. I think they're an outstanding engine room, but they need some help from other players as well. So their front row, Liam Coltman, an All Black, Tokalahi at prop, outstanding footballer. So look, they've got some young guys in there, but they're going to have to front.
Someone like Shannon Frizzell, Paddy Parkinson at lock.
Exactly.
You want those guys coming on, the big boys coming on at the end to end the game, but it goes down to mobility. They've picked a small squad. They want to play fast, high tempo. They know the Sharks are big. They've got 2 loose forwards that are good breakdown specialists. Coltman's probably the best in the game. So Tony Brown, Japan saw what they could do. He wants to play that kind of game.
I tell you what, does that look scary or what? I know you guys wouldn't be caught dead in there.
Oh, mate, I've done that plenty.
I got close. I stood beside it.
I'll probably go in there right now.
Okay, let's move on to the backs where you guys are more familiar with, okay? We know Waisake Naholo, we've already talked about him. Know Ben Smith as well. How did they replace that sort of experience? Because that's what it is, isn't it? It's so much experience.
Yeah, it is. And once again, these guys, the more games they play, the more experience they're going to get under their belt. I really like Josh Mackay, fullback.
Yeah.
You know, you've been lucky enough to play with the kid. He is a good footballer, this kid, and you know, no one's going to replace a Ben Smith. It's like trying to replace a Jeff Wilson or an Israel Dagg, for instance. You just can't do that. So these guys have got to go out and play their own game, and I think he will. Nareki excites me too, though, is he?
Yeah, great sevens plays. He's got great feet. He can score from here. He's only a small guy, but he's very strong. But going back to what you said before, these kids, you know, Josh Mackay is a kid. He'll go sit in that locker. He'll look at that jersey and he'll like, Ben Smith was wearing this jersey, and he'll take that in and he'll be like, this is an awesome moment for me, and that's what they got to do, just make the most of those little moments.
Give us a wee insight into Tima Whainganuku. We saw his brother light it up for the Crusaders, but he's in the Highlanders colours now.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. He went over to Perpignan in France and ended the season there, come back to the Crusaders. He was in our environment for like a whole year, but just never got the opportunity. He's got great skill sets. He's strong, he's physical, he always wants to learn. And that's what you want from a young guy. And his younger brother's doing magical things at the Crusaders. So for him, he's just got to go out there and take his opportunity. And from the pre-season chat, I've heard he's been making the most of all his opportunities.
Okay, well, you've already mentioned Jonah Nareki. We've got a beautiful story on him. He's overcome some tough injuries, but he's also seen some amazing career highs as well.
This is Alhambra Union. This club has taken me in with open arms since I've been down here. Hey Gary, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Same to you, bud. Weather's not much.
Nah, it's not. I was born in Fiji. I'm in a little town called Lautoka, and then I grew up in Wanganui. My last year of school, I went to Fielding Ag, and that's probably where my rugby kicked off.
Sets up for him. Oh no! Nareki spins, accelerates, and Vilamoni Karoi scores.
I played Mitre 10 Cup for Otago. Greatest memory would be winning the Ramfleet Shield in 2017. It was a tough match, I could say that, physically and mentally. There was a tackle that I made and I got a knee to my testicle. I think I played on for maybe like 5 minutes, and then I told the physio, like, nah, I can't go on.
Vilamoni Karoi coming on for Jonah Nareki.
Someone else went down and then no one else was on the bench, so then they chucked me back on for, I think, like the last 5 minutes. Really painful.
Have won the Ramfleet Shield.
You can see footage of me celebrating, but deep down I'm like, yeah, I gotta go into the changing rooms.
The joy of winning the Ramfleet Shield.
It's funny because my mum kept rubbing my back as if it was just like a back pain, but I'm like, Mum, there's something really wrong here. Went back to the changing rooms, and then that's where I found the problem. I ruptured my testicle. I had surgery the next morning, and then they tried to keep me in, but I knew that Otago had a shield warming at the airport, so I was like, oh, I can't miss this. It was crazy. I've never seen the airport so packed. To see that, that's definitely what you play for, especially down here. It's for the community.
Nareki coming on and making an impact.
So I've been lucky enough to play with the All Black Sevens. I've done a lot of travel, been to places that I've never thought I'd travel to. I went to Belgium, out of all places. Went to Passchendaele. In school, I did history, so learning about it and then going to it, it's so cool to use rugby as a tool to get out there and see the world. I think I was in Vancouver with the Sevens. I got this email from my agent that the Highlanders were looking to sign me. Yeah, that's where it just all started. So I was like real happy because I knew that it's a dream to be in a super team. So the fact that a team wanted me, real exciting. Definitely a goal of mine to play Super Rugby. I've looked up to some Wanganui legends like Tikuru Tuma. Looking up to him play Wanganui steel formers like the Butchers, I'm like, yeah, one day I'll make the Butcher boys. And then when he went to the Chiefs, I was like, oh yeah, okay then, I'll make a super team. So yeah, the fact that he made it meant that I could. Yes, I'm really excited. I love playing at Forsyth Bar. Just the fact that the community gets behind us in numbers and the fact that the students fill out that zoo. So being able to play in front of that is something that I'm looking forward to.
He's played on some big stages, but coming back from a horrific injury like that and making it to the airport for the Shield party, that's something that you two would do.
It's a Shield party. I would have been out there as well.
Dedication. He wanted to be at that party, and good on him, he got there.
He's a little pocket rocket though, isn't he? He's only a small guy, but what he gives is unbelievable.
Oh, he's really exciting. And the fact is that people look at him as small.
Yeah.
So he probably has a wee bit of a surprise, particularly at Super Rugby level this year. He's actually probably going to surprise a few opponents.
Well, those little guys, you know, you take them, you underestimate them a little bit, and then you get close to them. They're actually little balls of muscle. So, and that's what he is. He's just walked past before. Look at his quads. They're huge.
Okay, the Highlanders 2020. It's going to be the first time we see them play tonight. Clean slate. What's the most important thing for them?
Look, just a good start, I think.
Yep.
They've got to start well against this side tonight and put a couple of points and take their opportunities.
First 5 minutes are key. If, like you said, just start well, get some confidence in the game plan, start believing, then they'll be right.
Score predictions, are you picking something close? Are you picking...
I've taken them 1 to 12, to be fair, on my TAB picks, which I'm not very successful at.
Yeah, Landers by 7.
Okay, there you go. There you have it. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. We'll be seeing you at halftime. It's time to see what the Highlanders are made of. And if Tony Brown's appointment is anything to go by, we're sure to be entertained. So sit back, relax, grab something to drink, whether it be hot or cold, and enjoy the match. It's the Sharks up against the Highlanders, live from Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin on Sky Sport.